Hey guys, welcome to the episode of Michigan Fishing. I just stuck this good little chunk, probably a big 2, probably like 2.5, something like that. Just a little fish. Crankbait Bassin today. This one's pretty chunky. They're feeding up right now. Feeding on shallow weed lines, facing up into the shallows, feeding on minnows. Hooked into that one about 10th cast, something like that. It's a good little fish. Probably, I'd take that 5 of those in a tournament, or at least up here in Michigan. Using a KVD 1.5 bluegill color. Switched out the hooks to KVD Elites, number 4 size. Using a Ducket cranking stick, 7-foot medium cranking stick. So very good choices right now. Water's pretty greenish. It's pretty warm today. We got a little breeze. It's a little cool. Really good turn on the fish. So it's a good little one. I'll get back with you guys. Hey guys, welcome back. Just got another crankbait bass. I did lose one. It was about the same size as this one. It's just a simple 14-15 inch fish. Nothing too sorry to too pissed about. I did hook that snapper and fought it for a while and I couldn't get it in, so finally we went and grabbed the boat and grabbed a net, and one of my buddies, me and him, tried to get it. Got it up to the boat. The hooks on the crankbait got hooked on the net and it did get off, and I was okay with that because I really, one, didn't want to do with that snapper. That was the biggest snapper I've ever hooked and dealt with. It was huge. It was about 40 pounds easy. It was about that big around. The head on it was about that big. It was huge. So I was okay with that. It didn't bend. These hooks. These are KVD Elites. They just don't bend. Come on, my players. There we go. Just a little fish. Nothing too big, but just a little one. So I'm 2 for 3 right now. KVD 1.5 right there. That's the way to go. So we'll get back to you with more fish, guys. And then at the end, I'll talk to you about how I'm fishing it, throw out some tips, show you guys equipment and stuff, even though enough of you guys probably know from watching my videos. But anyways, stay tuned, guys. Hey guys, welcome back. I ended up with 2 out of 4. I'm gonna stay fishing, see if I can get a couple more, but I did lose 2. Very uncommon for me. I think I don't know, it's just one of those days. But I haven't been fishing for that long anyway, so I'm gonna keep at it. Let you know if I get any more, get them on camera, of course. Anyways, I'm gonna talk to you about basically what these fish are doing right now. So spawn's over, post spawn's over. You know, post spawn typically ends around that 70 to 72 degree mark, typically when those bluegill get on the beds. In early summer, about that 70 degree mark, that's when those bluegills are going to get on the beds, and that's when the bass are going to start feeding like crazy. It's payback time right now. It's payback for stealing all their dang eggs. So typically, you know, bluegill spawn the same spot bass do for the most part. Flats, sandy / somewhat rocky area. They will spawn in hydrilla where you can get in between like the bass do. Sometimes they'll even take an old bass bed and use that instead of making their own. Kind of untypical though. They do like a little bit different area. They like a little bit sandier area to spawn. Sorry for the wind too, if you guys can't hear me or something. So basically, with that said, this is what the bass are going to be doing is, right now especially, a lot of times they're going to sit on these drops. It might only be a 3 or 4 foot drop. That's enough for them. They're going to be sitting on that drop off of where those flats are. And if there's not a drop off there and it gradually goes down, they're going to sit in a cut, or they're going to sit in a spot of change. So that's what they're doing in here. Is we got bluegill bedding over here, we got bluegill bedding over there, and they're cruising down there, and they're also sitting. Most of them are sitting, but some are cruising. Those cruising ones are going to be more aggressive, which they're both parts of the population of bass are going to be aggressive, but typically those cruisers are going to be a little bit more aggressive. We also have wind today, so we do have a windy bank, and there is pushing minnows up there, so they will take advantage of that too. But let's just say we don't got wind today and we're fishing for the bluegill, the bass that are focusing on bluegill. So they're gonna be cruising on weed lines down on those drop-offs, and they're gonna be sitting there waiting for, they're opportunistic. They're gonna wait for something to come over into their path, and they're just gonna go up and they're gonna take it. So what I'm doing is I'm fishing KVD 1.5 and a bluegill color. Number 4 trebles on here, KVD Elite trebles. And fishing those weed lines and stuff on those drop-offs. And I'm also focusing on those cruising bass. And what I'm doing with this crankbait is, you know, you want to make it seem different. You don't want to make it seem like it's just another bluegill. I mean, you can reel it in and stuff, and you're going to catch fish, but you'll catch a lot more if you make it erratic, make it seem different. That is one of the best things you can do with a crankbait, is be different with it. Same thing with spinnerbait, you know? You don't want to just reel it in. You're going to catch fish, but I'll tell you what, you're going to catch a lot more if you fish it differently. Like I said, definitely keep it erratic, move it. And I like, for my equipment as far as my setup is, I like a 7-foot medium ducket. It's a cranking stick. This is their cranking model. And this allows me, it's still got a parallelic bend in it. I'm popping it today, I'm being aggressive, making it seem different, injured. Seem like it's trying to get away from something. But I like an all graphite rod for cranking, and the reason is I'm a fanatic about sensitivity. I feel though that you can get away with an all graphite rod for cranking as long as you got the right rod, right line, right lure, right hook set, and you'll be just fine. Catch as many fish as you would with a composite rod. And that's, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but if you get a composite rod, it's good and all, you know, you're gonna set hooks, but to me, I just don't feel, I wanna know what that crankbait's doing. I wanna know what the bottom contour is. I wanna know where the brakes are. I wanna know what my crankbait's hooked on. If I got weeds, if I got a leaf on there, if I got a bass on there, I wanna know it. And these ducket all graphite rods are super sensitive to that, but yet they have enough parallelic bend in them to really not rip those hooks out and get a good hook set. This rod is designed for medium crankbaits, shallow crankbaits, square bills, rattle traps. I do not use it to rip rattle traps out of weeds though. That I want a different rod for. It just doesn't have the power for that, but it does have the power to fish those. I fish those on rocky drop-offs. So quick overview, just remember, fishing on bluegills for the most part, they're going to be on those drops where those flats are. Crankbait is a great way to go for them. They're also going to be on weed lines related to those bluegill, and if they get super aggressive, they'll be cruising in like cloudy days. They'll be cruising in schools going up for those bluegills. You got to remember that. It's very important. So just be different, have the right equipment, be different with your crankbait presentation. Have the right equipment, you will do just fine when it comes to those early summer bluegill bite bass. So stay tuned for more episodes of Michigan Fishing. I'll let you know if I get any more fish. I'll put it in a heading below saying how many I got out of how many. Right now it stands at 2 out of 4. So thanks guys, stay tuned.